Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Mizzle. You watch my channel Mizzle 14, and I'm back doing a review of MTV Catfish, Season 8, Episode 16, the episode of Stephanie and Danny. Alright, yes, it's a little bit late now, because usually I would upload videos on the Thursday after I record, watch it, but Wednesday night I had to do a double, so I couldn't do the videos, and Thursday I didn't feel like doing it. So I'm doing it now. Hey, it's better to get it now than never get it at all. And I will be doing the Love After Lockup last week, the mid-season finale, and the quarantine edition as well. And stay tuned for MTV Ghosted after this one. So, yeah, there's a couple of videos I'm going to be doing for this week, so y'all be entertained, alright? Alright, this review is not going to be really long because I don't really know how I feel about this. It is what it is. It was straightforward. It wasn't that long investigation to say much. I'm going to say what it is, give my opinion, and that's it. And I know sometimes the people who on the show watches my videos, so I'm speaking from the heart, I speak to the truth, how I feel, and that's it. Alright. So Stephanie and Danny. So we got this single mother of twin boys, Stephanie, who has been talking, not really talking per se on the phone, has been texting this guy named Danny for 10 years. Yes, you heard that right, 10 years. Now, I don't know how much patience she has to able actually go forth and texting and trying to see this person and never FaceTime or video chat, never talk on the phone, but they have been texting for 10 years. Like, really? Never talk on the phone, never FaceTime, or never met in person. But you've been talking to this person for 10 years. So she has several different relationships besides speaking to Danny. But every time he ghosts her, she move on with her life, and then she gets serious with someone, and then he come back, and then she break up the relationship with the person because something in her mind is so hell bent that she had this, I guess, a fantasy or thing with Danny. Because they talk about a lot of things. They talk about being with each other, family, having a family, being together, being married. They talk about a lot of stuff. And imagine now, she said she first met him when I think he's a photographer or something like that. She was interested in modeling. And he was doing photography, and then she hit him up on Facebook, and he said, I'm interested in modeling and stuff like that. She posted her phone number there. So, in the page and everything, and they interacting. Now, at the time, she was a minor, she was 17. So, he turned her down, and then when she turned 18, I guess something from there, and she was not letting it go, they stopped having a conversation. And she be texting the same number for 10 years. One number she be texting. Because usually when people catfish, they had different numbers. Or they had, you don't really get their regular number or their real number. They have different numbers so you can't trace it. But this person has been texting Stephanie for 10 years with the same one number. And then they look at the Facebook pages on social media, and it seemed like legit. It seemed like a legit page. Because usually a catfish, they be have like the weirdest pages. That's like not enough numbers and the pictures and stuff like that, or a lot of pictures and not enough followers and stuff, and it's supposed to be this popular person. No. So they usually could tell if a page is like fake or is a real person. And it seemed like it's actually a real person, a real profile. So they was trying to help her out and see how it is, because she was like, and then she said after all this time, she never know. It's just like, it's an on and off. He ghosts me, and then I end up back, and then get serious with someone else, and then he come back, and just hold on to me. I just had this thing in my mindset that nobody could compare to Danny. So I said, I don't know. He never sent her pictures either of himself. She sent the pictures of her to let him know that she is real, but he never sent pictures of himself to her. Which I was like, girl, what? For 10 years? And you never see no picture. The only picture she be seeing is the pictures that he has in his profile and his social media. So I was like, okay, what can we do from here? Now, she's in Florida. He lives in California. Way two different ends of the freaking country. So I don't know how they're going to work. And she was trying to just beat him. But every time it was come to the point, she bought a ticket and everything, he would cancel her. He would stop and he won't say nothing. And it'd be like, okay. So this is like the weird case. Now she's saying that if she were to find out who he is, and everything, because it's been 10 years, she wasted her life, she want to know if she gonna move forward. I said, yeah, you really have patience, because I don't even think I would even waste that long with someone for 10 years. and you supposed to get serious with a person and then never FaceTime you, never video chat, not even one time. Like, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And not even pictures. And you holding on to this same thing in your mind about, oh, you have a personal life, perfect life with him. It'll be so great, so handy, so good and dandy. Like, I don't know. And it stuck out. I said, what is you holding on so much about him? Like, what is he saying that make you feel like he's the legit one? Alright, so she was hoping that if he is real, she will look forward to it. She will work it out, be it possible to move forward, and go on with him and see how it is, and try to make it work. After 10 years, she was hoping that he's real, and if he's real, she'll make it work. I said, oh girl, you really trying to get with it. And if he's not, she just needs to move on for her life. Just want to move on, do what you got to do, take care of kids, and stuff like that. And that's that. Now, she said she told Danny about her father and kids that she got with, and they got children with, all that stuff like that. And he knew about it and all stuff, so that's why he came back in the picture and all that stuff. So his investigation. So they said, listen, Neve right off the back, he said, you know what? She been texting this one number all this long ass time for a whole 10 years. And I'm trying to remember around 10 years, Facebook just now started hitting around good around when I was in college. I was in college from 2004 to 2008. Facebook only really started around that time, right? So it just not getting their groove on. And the FaceTiming was a thing back then. I don't know. I think it was still transitioning without advanced smartphones and stuff like that. But that time you still had the flip phones, the sidekicks, and all that craziness, yes, that people had. So yes, it wasn't that advanced with the FaceTime and all that stuff yet. But I think FaceTime was around in 2010. Okay? So they checked the phone number and it came to the person named Laura. Connected to her Facebook page and everything to this person named Laura. Now they were thinking maybe she been talking to a female all this time. Because they never talked on the phone because she can't confirm who she really was talking to. Or she knows she was talking to somebody named Danny. So they went to the Laura. Now after that, they saw a page. They said, let's go back to this page and see his stuff. They look at this thing and see like very legit, look like a real page. And now he said, has anybody had tagged him recently? Now they did mention that he had lost a best friend around the time, so it took a hard, and that was one of the pictures they saw. He said, who was the person that was the best friend? He said he lost. Now, it was another picture that said was tagged, and a guy named Anthony, who was a good friend, and it was like 3 days ago. So I said, all right. So Neve hit up Anthony. He said, what's up, Anthony? What's up, this Neve? I'm a Catfish and all that stuff, and I just want to talk to you and answer a few questions. All right, so that was that. And after that, they text Stephanie because they wanted to know something. Because they was like, okay, maybe somebody intercepted that number and got her number and started talking to her. Because it's like, hold up, what is it? Because she mentioned that she did reach out to him first when she first started talking to Danny and his page. And she posted something. But she never really DM'd him on his Facebook or Instagram. I don't think Instagram was really that popular back then. Or whatever time period. Because she's 10 years. So she never really DM'd him on social media. She always had been texting him. But the first initial conversation was to post on his page with her number. So maybe somebody took the number and intercepted her and made her think that it was Danny. And she was not actually talking to a Danny. So that's what they were thinking. And that's that. So finally Anthony called. And he agreed to talk to Neve and Cammy, but he don't want to be video chatting. He don't want to be FaceTime. He don't want to show his face. So I said, okay, cool. So he talked to them. It was a microphone. So they was asking him different questions, and he really shady with his answers. Like, yeah, it was Danny. Yes, Danny. Do you know Danny talking to somebody named Stephanie? I never heard no Stephanie. No, never came about. How long you knew Danny? I knew Danny for 30 years. I said, you knew him for 30 years and you never knew that he was talking to a girl named Stephanie? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds suspicious. Now, he was like, do you know, can you confirm or deny the number that Stephanie was talking to all this time? He said, no, I'm not gonna do that. So they said, okay, cool. So it's like, okay, we just video chat or something like that to get information and all that stuff. He said, click. I was like, what? So they were talking to them. I was like, what is going on here? Now they said he was really shady. He being weird. He don't want to answer the questions. Not too long ago, like a minute or two later, Danny called. So obviously Anthony called or texted Danny, said Danny called. So Danny called for a different number. He said, oh, y'all was talking to me. Y'all was calling my best friend Anthony. What's going on? On my friend Anthony. He said, this is Danny. He said, yeah, this is Danny. He was like, have you ever... I'm just talking to Anthony and stuff like that, trying information. It's like, I know a friend you've been talking to named Stephanie. Have you known Stephanie? He said, oh, I don't know that Stephanie. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that person is. No, I never talked to a Stephanie. I said, oh, all right. Denied that. He said, he didn't want to be on video. He didn't want to be TV. All that stuff. He was all that stuff. Crazy, yada, yada, yada. Gave a bunch of bull crap. He said he don't know Stephanie. He don't know what's going on. You got the wrong person. It's not me you've been talking to. It's not her she's talking to. I don't know. I never talked to her. This is that. Click. Hang up. That's it. I was like, okay, what's going on here? So they was like, they told Stephanie, they gave Stephanie the rundown. All that stuff I just told you earlier. Gave her the rundown. And she was like, what's going on? Really? It's like, and then she took it to the heart. She started crying and this and that. And I said, I don't know. I felt bad for her. But at the same time, like 10 years, girl, you stick around for that. I don't want to stick around for that long. Especially when he ghosted me and then trying to come. No, we can't do all that. Now, come on now. Live your life. Are you messed up? Are you broke up your relationships just to have at least a sense of him? And see, he was really real and you could make it flow. You could make a life with him. Whatever. So she started crying, came back. And it was like, listen, we just got to call the number. Because you've been talking to this person one time, all this long number, and that's it. He never had any different numbers. This is one number. So they called that number. They pick up, left a message. So they talking. They was waiting. They waiting. And then he finally called back. He called back, and it was the same voice from yesterday. So what the hell is going on? So it was Danny. He said, what's going on? I said, he left a message on my phone. He said, this is Danny. He said, yeah, this is Danny. She said, hold up. So I'm talking to you about a friend that we helping or something like that. And, my Stephanie, have you heard of Stephanie? He said, I don't know no Stephanie. I don't know a Stephanie. So like that. So he said, you've been, this girl named Stephanie been texting this one phone for all this long time, for 10 years. And this is the number she only had. So can you not recall you haven't been talking to anybody for this long time? He said, no, that's not, no. I was like, okay, so you did not talk to me yesterday? He said, no. So I said, I have a hard time to believing that she's been texting you for 10 years. This is the only number she has. You've been texting, going back and forth with this one person for 10 years. And you go sit here and tell me that you was not talking to her for this long ass time. And it's one number. And you called back from. You called me back with the number that she was texting you on. And you are actually the person. So you gonna tell me you was not talking to her? He said, okay, yeah, I was talking to you yesterday. I said, we know that. It's the same voice, like, duh. So, yes, he talked to Neve and yesterday. Anthony was trying to cover for him more stuff. That was Dollar. And he said he didn't really like doing FaceTime and talking on the phone. Now, there are people out there who don't really like talking FaceTime. They really don't. And there are people who have anxiety who really don't like talking on the phone. So it's the anxiety that kills them. So I don't know. I guess I can tell he really felt uncomfortable being on TV because she said he watched the show and he didn't even thought he would ever be on it. I said, if you catfish someone, you're not showing your face on it. So why you think you would not be on it? But I don't know. It's a little million people who be in catfish, so I guess everyone will be on the show. But okay. So all that stuff, he agreed to meet. Because now after Neve hammered him, he finally agreed to meet. He said, okay, give me a minute. Lo and behold, all that person she was talking to was actually the real Danny. Yes, it's the real Danny. The pictures, all that stuff that she was seeing was him. Was him all this long ass time. He said it's just him. He don't really like FaceTime and talking on the phone. It was a lot going on. I work a lot, so although we have a time and everything, I'm not gonna go through the whole. He said he didn't really have the time, all that stuff. It seemed like when he was talking, he really was just being straightforward and all that stuff. It's just bullshit. A lie. It's like 10 years and you cannot even talk FaceTime one time. Yes, you might be uncomfortable, but it only took like one time, and she would never be on. Y'all would never been on television. You would never been on television if you took that one time. Even though you've been comfortable, it could have been a quick minute, 2, 3 conversation with her and say, hey, I'm going to show you this is me. I'm not trying to catfish you, all that stuff like that. Yes, I have a hard time. I always like FaceTime and stuff like that, but I'm going to show you me. She would have been okay with that. And then she was trying to make it work with you. But you was ducking and dodging. Now, he said he was ashamed of his living situation. That's why he didn't want her to fly to California. He didn't like where he at, all that stuff. So, and he basically liked to talk to her. He said the reason why he was consistently talking to her on and off like that because it's one consistent friend in his life. He keeps saying a friend. She said a friend? Oh, you like me as a friend? We talk about all the intimate stuff about being a family, doing all his kids and all that stuff there, being together, and you make me a friend? Now, he did choke up when he talked about his best friend, that how he never had anyone he could talk to. Every time he felt down and out, she was there for him, as she has been constantly in his life. So that he appreciated that. And then he had that, his best friend passed. So you gotta, so Cammy told him, you gotta cherish the people who've been there for you, because you never know. And he said he learned that after his best friend passed, because he probably would take his best friend for granted, like he been doing to Stephanie. And now that person's gone, now you can't get that back. So he said everything he said to her, he really do truly believe. He didn't know how she was feeling. He didn't know about a lot of stuff that she was ending her relationships to be with him and hoping that they would be together. And he really was uncomfortable. You could tell he probably was uncomfortable being on FaceTime. There are people who are like that. So I'm not knocking him for doing that. And knocking him for, but at the same time, for 10 years, you just can't talk to someone and text someone for 10 years and never talk on the phone. You could have talked on the phone at least some of the times. You could at least did one time FaceTime. You don't have to do it all the time. You could have told her, I'm not comfortable FaceTiming, but I'm doing this because I want to meet you and I want to let you know. That's all it could have took. So it was like, alright. So I just feel like he was not straightforward, that he just wanted her as a friend and she just built this thing that it was more than that. And now he's spending his day, he can work something out. She's hoping. And it seems like she really liked him, because at the end of the day, after he said all that, she said, okay, let's try it. And I said, oh, okay, that's it for me. It is what it is. It seems like it's a happy ending. They both go try to make it work. He go communicate more with each other and see how this goes. And she said, all that is words. I need action. I said, okay, yeah, because you've been staying around for 10 years, so you can tell you're loyal by default for this guy who has been not shown who he is all this long time, until it took from national television for actually to see that it was him. You could have shown your one face, like I said, you could have did one video or sent him pictures. I don't know. It could have just been avoided. All this could have been avoided. We wasted a whole hour watching this show, so he could have just did that. I mean, you not have to be a FaceTime and talking on the phone king, but come on now. So they would say after this filming, they had been talking to each other for a while, getting better, hoping that the meeting at the FaceTime and the thing got them in a better place to be comfortable, and go from there. And that was MTV Catfish, y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me how y'all feel about this episode. Tell me how, if y'all would have stuck around for 10 years for someone, have you ever been through this situation? How do you feel about him? How do you feel about her? I don't know. I think she hold on for something that was not supposed to be, but I guess this their happy ending, I guess, if y'all would record that. But I guess hope it works out for them. If it does continue, I mean, hope they give us like a MTV Catfish where all they now update and see if they actually gonna be still together or not. But tell me how y'all feel. I'll talk to y'all later for MTV Ghosted.